player in this matchup?
Well, first for Utah Valley, I think a big impact player for Utah Valley is Jasmine Nutupuivaha. I think when she comes in, her hitting percentage is just out of this world. She's hitting well above 300. They go to her right down the middle. She has just the most incredible hang time where she's able to place the ball wherever she wants and hit it at a blistering speed. So keep an eye on her. And then also I have it right here. I have to make sure that I give due credit. California Baptist is one of the better serving teams in the WAC, so you have to keep an eye on Abreu, who looks like Abreu in the digs. Excuse me. The service aces was.
Let's get that.
Johnstone. I apologize for that. So she averages .4 per match. So she's. Don't be surprised if we see a few aces from her today.
We're underway. Wolverines in white, Lancers in gray and blue, and it is the Lancers, the visiting team, who get on the board first. You mentioned in the opening, and it's worth repeating right now, the first of 4 games for the Wolverines at home happened Thursday morning, kind of a unique situation. The Wolverines have done this in recent years where they'll invite some elementary school-age kids over, pack the arena. It gets loud, it gets crazy. And boy, did that atmosphere match the type of game we saw between Kansas City and the Wolverines. Tough start for the Wolverines on the 4-game homestand, but great effort by both teams.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned before, Jasmine, being a player to watch out for Utah Valley, able to strike first for the Wolverines. And Christensen will go back and serve. And speaking of that match just the other day with Kansas City, it was, I said before, probably the longest match that I have ever personally broadcasted, been a part of. And to put it in perspective, the kids that were here from the elementary schools, they had to leave before the match ended. The crowd was just funneling out almost as if it was a blowout, but they had to go back to class. So it was kind of a weird atmosphere where the intensity was so high and it was such an exciting game, but you had just hordes of children leaving the building. It was kind of a weird sight, but both teams.
If you look at the score of each set, I mean, it highlights exactly what you're saying. 25-22 Wolverines, 25-22, 27-25, 25-23, 15-11. Just an incredibly close matchup, and it makes you wonder, as we focus now on the game at hand between the Wolverines and the Lancers, how is U of U going to handle getting back into action so quick after such a close loss to Kansas City?
Well, hopefully it's fresh in their mind. They can see what they did well and see what they need to improve upon, because both teams committed a lot of errors. Kansas City had a lot of service errors. They sent the ball sailing way too many times. Utah Valley, though, the receiving errors just piled up over and over again. They kept attacking Kasna over and over, and they made the Wolverines pay for it. So if they can tune up those things, and Utah Valley's got to stay sharp throughout. They've got to be able to get a lead and then maintain it and even extend it, because the Wolverines finished the 5th set on a 7-0. Well, it was a 7-0 run for Kansas City. So Utah Valley was actually in prime position to win set number 5. I thought it was all done, but Kansas City just went on a tear, 7 straight points to finish it off.
Wow. It's 4-3 here, and Jason Funk Stratton is at the service line for the Wolverines. Great serve there, makes it difficult for the Lancers, and now it's the Wolverines on the attack. Jarema missed some time in the middle of the season. It's good to see Jarema back for the Wolverines, and it's Utah Valley getting the point, and Jason will serve again.
I think they changed it. There's the officials are changing it. Looks like, Saren's saying that she didn't even touch it and it sailed out of play, but
Coach Atoa now for the Wolverines on the floor trying to get an explanation of what's going on here. We're going to have a discussion by the officials.
And they'll bring the official that was closest to it. Hopefully they can shed some light on it. Utah Valley just looked like they had seen a ghost when they changed the call.
Little stoppage here, very, very early here in the first set. And they're going to keep the point with the Wolverines after discussing it. I can't really comment on it, as I didn't get a good look. But it's point Utah Valley. It was originally called for the Wolverines, then briefly switched to the Lancers, and now back to Utah Valley with Jason Funk Stratton. The floating serve.
I'll tell you what, Kazna has been a huge integral part of that defense at the net. A lot of blocks for Kazna in that last matchup. I got to take a look at this real quick.
As you look that up, Jason Funk Stratton will serve again, and the Wolverines on a 3-0 scoring run very early here in the first set. The Lancers thought they had scored the point, but it was not touched, and the point to the Wolverines make it a 4-0 run now with Jason still serving.
Yeah, Kazna ended up with 4 blocks in that game.
Against Kansas City.
Yes.
Great play there from Utah Valley to keep it alive. And the point for the Wolverines, red hot out of the gates. Utah Valley 5-0 run.
Utah Valley was a little fortunate. You never want to have an overpass. Obviously, you want to keep it in play, but it came back and set up a nice opportunity for the Lancers, but Utah Valley was ready and waiting to capitalize on the other end.
Jasa dives in to keep it alive from the hit from Cassidy Dennison. Now it's the Lancers' turn. They'll go back to Dennison. Trickles over the net. Jarema can't keep it alive, and the Lancers with a much-needed side out.
You know, that kind of thing you can live with if you're Utah Valley, because Jarema had the second effort, went after it. Kazna Terafiti was diving to save it if Jarema didn't get a hand, but unfortunately it just kind of rolled off away from both of them. It's just one of those things where the effort was there, but the ball just didn't fall in their favor. Speaking of ball in their favor, Kazna Terafiti putting some sauce on it and scoring for UVU.
Leads the Wolverines in kills on the season, Kyle, with over 225 kills.
Leads the WAC as well.
She is one of the most dynamic players in the conference. Oh, there's that Wolverine defense. Bailey Christensen along with Michaela Jarema. It's been a while, Kyle, since the Wolverines have come out this hot at home. It's nice to see if you're a Wolverine fan.
I agree. And Utah Valley, you know, is interesting against Kansas City just a couple of days ago. The Wolverines, there was not a lot of blocking going on. It was mostly, you know, players were playing well offensively, but then there were also a lot of errors that were committed, so it wasn't necessarily the defense from either squad. There weren't many blocks. I think maybe 1 or 2 tops in the very first set, and then as it went along, that block number increased and increased, so Utah Valley seems to be getting back into their blocking ways.
Point to Utah Valley. They lead 11-5. They've been in control since that early 5-0 run. As a team, the Wolverines hitting .286. And you got to love the side-out percentage. Utah Valley siding out perfectly, 100% as we near the midway point. Almost an overpass there. And another error to California Baptist. Wolverines now with a set-high lead of 7. And that's going to cause Coach Brandon Higa to call timeout. Wolverines in control here in Orem, Utah.
Here at Intermountain Healthcare, our doctors have experience treating young athletes, professional athletes, and the athlete next door. We treat everyday injuries, sports injuries, concussions, total joint replacements, and everything in between. Come visit our board-certified physicians and surgeons here at Intermountain Healthcare's Utah Valley Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. We're committed to keeping you moving.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home or back into your pocket. To learn more, visit uccu.com/morehouse or stop by any UCCU branch today. More house, same payment. Only at UCCU, inspiring smart mortgage decisions.
It's all Utah Valley here in the first set. Wolverines lead by 7, and they have been in control since Jasa Funk Stratton was on the service line earlier in the set, and it catapulted the Wolverines on a 5-0 run.
Jason Funk Stratton, she didn't start here at Utah Valley, a transfer. Came over last season, made a pretty big impact. She did play at Utah State, played high school at Lone Peak, so not too far away from here. Definitely had some battles with some of our PG alum while she was younger. And something that I've noticed from her, we had a chance to interview her a little bit at the beginning, not the beginning of this season, but the season before, and her leadership presence has just been absolutely it's been really impressive, and other players on the team had talked about what she brings with leadership and composure. So I think she's a great find for Coach Otoa and this Wolverine squad.
Only a junior. As a sophomore in her first season for the Wolverines a season ago, she appeared in all 109 sets, all 34 matches, recorded over 300 assists and 24 service aces. Right now, in her junior season, she's fourth on the team in service aces, but as we saw during that 5-0 run, Kyle, no service aces by her, but just put the Lancers in such a difficult position because of the quality of her serve. And right now, it's still all Utah Valley in large part to that big 5-0 run.
A service ace is obviously the best scenario, but getting a team out of system with your serve, that's the next best thing.
Yeah. And this is going to sound crazy, but it's almost exactly what you want to have. I mean, like you said, a service ace is great, but those are few and far between. I mean, if you can have 5, 6, or 7 of those in a match, you're doing great. But if you can make it difficult and it allows your defense to set up like we've seen here so far for the Wolverines, that's what you want. And that's what the Wolverines are doing right now. They have 2 blocks siding out at nearly 86%. It's been a defensive gem so far for the Wolverines.
Jasmine blocked at the net, a rare sighting, but something I love to see from her is they love to go back to her after she's been blocked because she gets mad. She gets angry because she's used to just putting some serious heat on that ball, and you can see it in her face. The next time she gets through, I don't want to jinx it, but don't be surprised if she gets through and scores.
What a career Jasmine Nutupuivaha has had for the Wolverines. She's been asked to do a lot of different things throughout her time here. Beautiful side out there from Bailey Christensen. This is a confident Wolverine team right now that doesn't look like there's any negative effects from that 5-set loss against Kansas City.
Well, there shouldn't be because they played really well. Again, there were a couple of things that they needed to fix, and it seems like they've really done a better job at that. And credit Coach Otoa because it seems like he's made some adjustments to put his players in positions to succeed because the Wolverines' passing has been a lot better.
There was the block from Yagoda Yenjichuk. We haven't talked about her yet, but boy do we need to. Currently 7th all-time at CBU for blocks, nearing the 300 mark. Odds are she's going to become the all-time record holder by the end of the season. She just needs 25 more, and that number is even less now with that first block of the match. So 24 more to become the Lancers' all-time leader in career blocks, and she is a force defensively for California Baptist. But hey, the Wolverines have some players that can block as well, and there you see Megan Childs in on the action.
They have several players that can lay down the block. You got Childs, you've got Kazna, you've got Jarema, you've got Jasmine, you've got Bailey Christensen. It's
Tori Dorius,
yes, Kaylee Downs. I just listed out half the roster. I mean, they're good. 18-10 UVU.
Really, really impressive start for the Wolverines here. And this is the key stretch. They've done a nice job of rebounding in conference play. They got off to a slow start in the non-conference, and it's looking like, and there's still a long way to go, but it's looking like the Wolverines are finding their groove here in WAC play. The Wolverine defense is outstanding.
The timing was just absolutely stellar. They tried to attack the high hands, but the hands were too high.
Another timeout from the Lancers, and Brandon Higa not liking what he sees as the Wolverines rolling along here in the first set.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
It's 19-10 here in the Lockhart Arena on the campus of Utah Valley University. Both teams, kind of interesting here. We're looking at the stats. Both teams negative hitting percentages, Kyle.
We've been taking a look at the defense and how impressive it's been, but it makes sense that both teams would be in the negative in the hitting percentage, as you say, with negative 167 for California Baptist and then negative 62 for Utah Valley. So neither team hitting the ball particularly well, but the Wolverines on a 3-0 run despite the negative number.
Off the fingers of California Baptist, and it's Megan Childs with her second kill of the first set. Boy, is it good to see her returning to form.
Yes.
She looks fantastic today, and what an addition for the Wolverines to have her back. I know that Coach Atoa is just ecstatic to have her, and she's playing great. Another transfer. I know we talked about Jason Funk Stratton, but Coach Atoa, there's several transfers on this team that are providing an impact, and there you see the strength and the power of Kasna Terafiti, her second kill of the first set. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just, as you were saying, Megan Childs ended up finishing with 11 kills, hitting 240 with, looks like, 4 blocks and 4 digs. So, yeah, she had a great game.
Injured a season ago was Megan Childs. She's back and providing a spark for the Wolverine team. There's a side out by the Lancers. A substitution now for California Baptist. In is number 1, Paige Johnstone. Kyle told us earlier to keep an eye on her. An outstanding server for the Lancers.
Kasna denied. That was Ellie Foss, Foss denying Kasna at the net.
Megan Childs, big time rejection there from Yenjichuk.
Still been a game of defense on both sides. Kasna was able to get through the block that time, but this time through, Sydney Marks dials up a laser, and California Baptist on a 4-0 scoring run. So Utah Valley, despite the 21-14 lead, things could get very interesting if the Wolverines can't put it together.
They're going to try Childs again. It's deflected. Lancers are there. And it's going to be Johnstone getting it over. Wardle over to Kasna. That is hard to stop. Side out, Utah Valley. Subs now, it's Jason Funk Stratton, who is the catalyst to that early 5-0 run.
Whose hand was in the cookie jar? It looks like it was a Lancer.
I think it might have been Yenjichuk. We'll see who. Jasa, another serve. Incredible serve, making it difficult. And it leads to a big-time block from Downs. Boy, I know that doesn't go down as a service ace, but wow, have I been impressed by the serve of Jasa Funk Stratton.
Jasa has been so good. And then credit to Kaylee Downs for the big block also. Downs has been – there's so many players that just play a massive role on this Wolverine team. Downs able to get a hand too there, but unfortunate bounce.
They keep it going here as the Wolverines still have set point. They've led by as many as 11. Lead by 9 here, looking to close out set number 1. There's the serve from Abreu. It's Downs, and it's Kaylee Downs delivering for the Wolverines. Not as sharp offensively as you'd like to see from a statistical point of view, but it was the Wolverines' defense and serve that led them to a big first set victory.
Yep, they ended up in the positive, hitting 40. So they spent a good chunk of that set in the negative. Still in the negative was California Baptist at negative 62, but 4 blocks for both teams.
All right, it's Utah Valley up 1-0 here in Orem, Utah. Stay with us. We'll be back with more after.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field,
on the track, on the court, in the pool,
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about keeping everything in perspective.
It's about taking ownership after a loss,
and being humble after a win.
We hope you'll team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines, because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Welcome back to the Lockhart Arena, where the Wolverines take the first set 25-15. Thanks for tuning in on the Western Athletic Conference Digital Network, on YouTube, and on the KSL TV app for Utah Valley University Volleyball. I'm Matthew Biamonte, joined alongside Kyle Bruderer. Thoughts and reactions from that first set?
I think, Utah Valley, there's obviously things they can improve upon. When you look at a score of 25-15, you wouldn't assume that they would hit the ball as poorly as they did. But defense and composure is what won it for them. So California Baptist, they definitely made a lot of mistakes. And if you're Utah Valley, you cannot rely on the other team making mistakes, which is something that they unfortunately did against Kansas City a couple days ago, and it ended up hurting them in the end.
Any individual players from that first set stick out to you?
Yes, absolutely. Megan Childs was absolutely stellar. I think getting up there to block, hitting the ball well, being in the right spot. Kazna Terafiti doing her thing like she always does. Kaylee Downs also had a couple of really big plays. And Jasa Funk Stratton serving the ball. It seemed like we saw her at the service line way more than anybody else, and she serves tough. She forces the team out of system and gives Utah Valley a great opportunity to score.
The Lancers will start things off here in the second set, and the serve is Cassidy Dennison. Wardle over to Terafiti. Huge swing, and Dennison can't handle it. An early point for the Wolverines, and it's Terafiti now with her 4th kill.
It's weird hearing the name Dennison on this court and it not being Madison Dennison, a UVU legend.
She played professional volleyball in France. One of the best.
Yeah.
And she's been one of many in a long line of outstanding middle blockers here at this university. And right now, we're looking at a few who have had a tremendous impact. Mikayla Jarema, Megan Childs, Jasmine Utupuivaha. Can't forget Lauren Bacher from back in the day.
Yeah.
And they're on cue. The block, the middle block. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems like the most dominant this front line has been for the Wolverines in quite some time, just absolutely controlling the net.
Well, the front line has their full strength right now. So I think, that's Jarema's been back for a couple of games, but it's going to take you a little while to get back into the swing of things, and she's starting to look like her old self. Last season, she was just an absolute dominant force, led the conference in blocks, I think in blocks per set as well, so she was just an absolute monster. And yeah,
that's a compliment.
It is.
Even though we're coming up on Halloween, monster's a good thing.
Yes, exactly. In the best possible way. But man, she's just going to continue to get better as the season goes along. So I think Utah Valley is in a very good position right now.
And this has been a staple of this Wolverine team throughout Coach Atoa's tenure, is they get better as the season goes along. And I think no one was happy with the way things went in non-conference, but this team we're starting to see glimpses of the potential that this team can have.
Sure. You mentioned before Utah Valley, their staple has kind of been blocking at the net and having really good middle blockers, but when you complement that with an offensive force like Kazna Terafiti, Utah Valley's had some good outside hitters as well, but Kazna is in a league of her own. Coming in, winning conference freshman of the year. And she's only a sophomore. I have to remind myself that all the time. I can't believe she's here for this year and 2 more.
Yeah, that's a great point. You gotta be just excited if you're a Wolverine fan as they lead 4-3. Christensen, Jasa to Downs. Jarema is there, and the Wolverines will try a second time. Dennison down the middle. Yenjichuk gets the point for California Baptist.
Utah Valley able to get a hand on it, but unfortunately a little too much wiggle room as the ball dropped on the Wolverine side of the net. We're tied up at 4.
Terafiti, when she has a full steam ahead, I don't know if I said that correctly, but you get the picture at home. Yeah. When she comes flying in like that, there's almost nothing that can be done. So much power, so much force. Terafiti now with 5 kills. She missed some time as well. So, you talked about Jarema getting back in the swing of things. Same with Kazna. I mean, on paper, when the season began, you looked at this Wolverine team, and it just looked like this team is going to contend for a conference championship, especially with that conference championship tournament being played right here in the state of Utah in this exact building. But injuries and other things have made it difficult for this team to get into the groove.
Yep.
But we're now starting to see it. And the Wolverines up 1 right now.
And they're deep. Coach Atoa does a really good job recruiting here. Has been doing it for a long time. Unfortunately, Kristen Allred out for the rest of the season, redshirting. She was on the, I think, was it the all-first preseason team?
Yeah.
So, she had a great year last year, so she would have been a huge part of this offense, but it happens. Same thing happened to Megan Childs, and they're grateful to have her back in her full force. So Utah Valley's still really deep at that position. So despite that, the Wolverines are in a good spot.
Yenjichuk with the block a moment ago. But a nice side out by the Wolverines, and boy, have they been good in that particular category this afternoon. If they continue to side out like this, they'll be in a great position to take this match. 66% side out in the first set. Right now they're at 63% for the match.
Downs and Nutupuivaha on another big block. That's 7 blocks for the Wolverines so far.
They have so many different combinations at the net that make it difficult for the other team. And to start the set off, we saw Jarema and Childs, and now you're seeing Downs and Nutupuivaha. That one goes through the hands of Jasmine, but still what a luxury to have the kind of options that Coach Otoa has.
Sure, it makes his job easier and fun.
Wolverines lead 1. Lancers serving. It's Nicole Abreu. Abreu, one of the anchoring forces of the CBU defense. Here's a little fact about Abreu. Once an outside hitter, now the libero, team high in digs on the season, as you see right there. Dennison, but wow, what an effort there from Merrill. Jasa to Christensen now. This is easily the longest rally of the match. Kasna passing over to Christensen, who can stay composed. A long point here. The center's
no! Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh, man.
Hana Okuhara, the sophomore from Pleasanton, California. Gaping hole in the middle of that Wolverine defense, and she finds it as we're tied at 8.
That was such a heads-up smart play because everyone was so locked in on both squads. It was just ready, the reaction time, the crispness. And, oh, man, the setter's dump. Love it and hate it.
Still serving is Nicole Abreu, a senior from Lima, Peru. It's a 3-0 run by California Baptist.
You know what's interesting? You talked about how she started out as an outside hitter, now playing libero. Utah Valley had a player that did the same thing not too long ago,
right.
Nikisha Wilden.
Yes.
So she started out as an outside hitter, ended up having a baby, and came back as libero and did an incredible job at that. So, shout out to Nikisha.
Shout out to Nicole Abreu as well, who has been phenomenal in that new role. Side out for the Wolverines, tied at 9. Serving now is Maddie Wardle. She has the lone service ace for the Wolverines. Make it a second. 2 service aces this afternoon for Maddie Wardle.
I believe she is leading the way for Utah Valley this season with service aces also.
She has 2 today to add to her total of 16, making it 18, almost 19 there. What a serve. Wardle to Christensen and now Terafiti. Point to the Lancers, sneaks in.
Second set, a lot closer than we saw in the first set. We are notched up at 10 apiece. The Wolverines started running away with things, and they opened up a 10-point lead. It ended up winning by 10 in the first set, but California Baptist making things much more difficult for Utah Valley here in the second.
Serving now is Natalie Zimmerer, a senior from Fresno, California, but it's the Wolverines on the side out. Christensen will serve. That was an attack error by Cassidy Dennison, giving the point to the Wolverines. They're going to try Christine Graff, but it's no good for the Lancers. Another point for the Wolverines. 12-10 now, Utah Valley. Dennison, Zimmerer back to Dennison. The Wolverines are there. Merrill over to Terafiti. Abreu to Dennison. Merrill over to Megan Childs on the far side. A pancake from Abreu. Great play there. But the hit, was it too far? Yes. Nice idea by Cassidy Dennison, but it doesn't sneak in. It's another point for the Wolverines, making it a 3-0 run.
It's got to be frustrating if you are CBU when there's so much effort going in and the ball just doesn't quite fall in your favor.
Wolverines in good offensive opportunity. It's Terafiti! Kasna! She's looking explosive this afternoon. And it's a 4-0 Wolverine run. Another timeout from the Lancers as the Wolverines widening the gap here in the second.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field,
On the track, on the court, in the pool,
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
The officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about keeping everything in perspective.
it's about taking ownership after a loss.
and being humble after a win.
We hope you'll team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines. Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Welcome back to Orem here on the WAC Digital Network. It's a 4-0 run for Utah Valley. It was 10-10 a moment ago, but we're seeing UVU and specifically the offense behind Kazna Terafiti.
Kazna up to 6 kills and 5 digs with 2 blocks today. She seems to be back to her old self. She got a slow start after she came back, missed a game due to, I don't know, it wasn't really a serious injury, but she definitely needed a little time off. But in this last game against Kansas City, Jasmine put up 18 kills and 17 digs, hitting 244, so that was huge. It was kind of a battle between her and Harrington. Harrington actually finished with 22 kills and 18 digs, so it was just kind of, those two powerhouses really went at it. But we did mention earlier the receiving errors from Kazna. She had 6 of them, and we haven't really seen any today, so, credit her for, really just doing a better job handling the ball, and then, credit Coach Atoa as well for putting her in spots in the rotation where she's been able to, avoid that. So she's looking really good.
Childs trickles over the net. Megan Childs, who had the beautiful dump shot a moment ago. She's up to 5 kills now, right behind Terafiti with 6. Wolverines playing some great volleyball here this afternoon. Side out there by the Lancers, just crept over the net. Wolverines were there, but unable to make the play.
Nearly able to recover. You don't see that very often on a free ball like that, so great awareness by Utah Valley, but got to live with that.
Lancers hanging around here in the second. Wardle to Jarema, and Mikaela Jarema, beautiful shot there. Her second kill of the afternoon. Jasa Funk Stratton and Kaylee Downs will come in for the Wolverines. It was a big side out there. They go up 14-10, and the Lancers were chipping away. The Wolverines keeping that 4-point lead here as we near that 20-point mark.
And that was a great pass by Kazna as well, receiving the ball and keeping it crisp.
Merrill, great effort there from Merrill. Wolverines get it over, setting up the defense. It's Sester for the Lancers, but the point goes to Utah Valley.
We were tied not too long ago, but Utah Valley starting to run away with it.
8-3 since it was notched up at 10. Terafiti had an easy one, but the Lancers were there. And it comes around for California Baptist Yenjichuk. That could have been an easy point for Utah Valley.
Somehow it was a point for Utah Valley.
Attack error by Ellie Voss gives the point to the Wolverines. And the Wolverines up 6 now. Largest lead here in the second set.
And exactly who you want serving the ball. Oh, my.
Over the block. Good effort there by Downs, but it goes into the stands. Much needed side out for California Baptist. Anna Okuhara will serve now for the Lancers. Terafiti to Christensen, and now Downs. Deflected at the net. Kaylee Downs with the kill. 3 kills now for Kaylee Downs, and Wolverines in control with 5 points to go here in the second set.
And Utah Valley they're hitting the ball so much better in this set. They've upped the overall percentage of the match to 180, 320 as a team in set number 2.
Serving is Kasna Terafiti. 6 kills for Kasna, hitting .267, 5 digs, 2 blocks. And Yenjichuk over the block, the outstretched arms of Bailey Christensen, and it's a point for the Lancers.
It may have been Ellie Foss on the
right.
kill,
Yes.
actually. She's up to 5 of 10, 4 blocks for Ellie as well with 1 dig.
Jasa to Kaylee Downs. Abreu is there. Dennison over the block. Jasa comes flying in to keep it alive. And there was Sydney Marks, the junior from Lottie, California.
6 blocks now for CBU, 7 for the Wolverines.
Serving is number 12, Elizabeth Gilly. And it is a service error, an untimely error there for the Lancers. Jasmine Nutupuivaha back in for the Wolverines. Sharon Merrill will serve.
We haven't seen that many service errors so far today, at least comparing it to the last match.
Lancers hanging around here. Another side out to cut the lead to 4. It'll be Nicole Abreu, a senior, serving for California Baptist. Jasmine to Jasa, down the middle to Jasmine, just a bit too far. Another point to the Lancers. Three-point lead now. It was 6 a moment ago. Kasna slides in. Bailey just gets it over. They'll try Dennison. Denied by the Wolverines, still alive. Can't get over the net. Still going for the Lancers, a third attempt. And it gets through the block.
Love the effort from both teams. The back-to-back stops, and then CBU just staying with it.
3-0 run by the Lancers, cutting the lead to 2. There's the serve again by Abreu. And it's the Wolverines with the side out. 3 points away from going up 2-0. Maddie Wardle in to serve. Exactly who you want at the service line. 18 service aces on the season, leads the Wolverines in a critical juncture. Good serve there from Maddie. Dennison over the block. Wardle is there, and now Childs will hit it over. They're going to say it was no. For a moment there, it looked like they were going to give it to the Lancers, but it's the Wolverines with back-to-back points, and it's the Lancers taking a timeout. Backs against the wall here in the second. We'll wrap this one up right after this.
Here at Intermountain Healthcare, our doctors have experience treating young athletes, professional athletes, and the athlete next door. We treat everyday injuries, sports injuries, concussions, total joint replacements, and everything in between. Come visit our board-certified physicians and surgeons here at Intermountain Healthcare's Utah Valley Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. We're committed to keeping you moving.
Wolverines are 2 points away from going up 2-0. This is the third meeting between these two teams, so last season was the first time these two teams played, and it was the Lancers in the first ever meeting winning here in Orem in 5 sets. But right now, it's all UVU. Great awareness there from Childs, seeing that play, but great effort there. Yenjichuk in on the action.
CBU not going away. They keep trimming it down to 2 or 3 points. They do need to go on a big run here, though, if they want to try and steal set number 2 from the Wolverines.
Christensen delivers for Utah Valley, and it's set points. Bailey Christensen, we haven't brought her name up a lot today, but that's probably our fault. 4 kills, 5 digs. She's been really instrumental on the receiving end of setting up the Wolverine offense. And it's a service ace by Bailey Christensen to wrap things up for the Wolverines. Wow.
Just kind of a miscue for CBU on the back row, and it just fell.
I don't want to be too ahead of myself here, Kyle, but is it wrong for me to say this is some of the best volleyball we've seen from the Wolverines so far this season?
No, I think the first set wasn't super pretty offensively. This last set, overall, yes. I think
offensively, you're right, but can you argue with a 25-15 win? I mean,
no. You can't.
You're winning by 10 points in the first set and you weren't good offensively.
You're right. They were really good defensively, which really helped it to win. So I think that it's hard for me to say that because I feel like they were really, really impressive in the last match against Kansas City. They were a lot more crisp in a lot of ways, but this has been really, really impressive. I think this has been more of a team effort. It seems like everyone has been so involved today, making an impact, opposed to just 2 or 3 players in the last match. So
let's take a quick
I do agree with you.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's all I was
after a long explanation.
Let's take a quick look at set number 2 stats, and then we'll take a break before we do the third set. Wolverines, side-out percentage took a little dip, but still 57%. They had offensively much sharper there in the second set, hitting 219 as a team. They were at 0-4-0 in the first, so offensively they cranked it up a bit there, and then leading the way in the third set was Bailey Christensen, who wrapped things up with that service ace. She had 3 kills in the second set. For the Lancers, Ellie Voss, 4 kills. Very good for the Lancers. But right now, they just don't have an answer for the Wolverine defense.
No, and I have to point out that Kasna has received the ball 15 times and committed 0 errors so far today, which is such a drastic improvement from the last match. So that, credit is deserved for rebounding in the way that she has.
She's been sharp. The Wolverines have been sharp. That's why they lead 2-0. We'll see if they can bust out the sweep after a break here as we await the third set. Stay with us. Welcome back to Orem, Utah, where the Wolverines lead 2-0 over the Lancers of California Baptist. We were talking right before the break at how the Wolverines have been playing some great volleyball, and you found a stat from the first 2 sets that is really, really impressive by Utah Valley.
It's super impressive. I was taking a look. I was more, just enthralled by the fact that Kazana had no receiving errors through those first 2 sets. But guess what? No one else has either. The entire UVU team, 33 receptions and no errors. That is awesome. California Baptist has done a pretty good job as well with 44, only 3 errors. But definitely credit to the Wolverines because their passing struggled against Kansas City, so it's great to see them tightening that up. And how about another service ace for Maddie Wardle? Make that 3 today.
Wow. Great start for the Wolverines. Maddie Wardle and Jasa Funk-Stratton providing a dynamic punch from the service line. They've been effective this afternoon. Merrill is there. Wardle now to Jurema. It is denied at the net by the Lancers. Number 10. You go to Yenjichuk, and she'll serve.
I'd love to see Jurema hit the ball a little harder than that.
Take a harder swing.
She's got such great athletic ability. I'd love to see her just rip through the defense.
Point to the Lancers on the air by Maddie Wardle. They lead 2-1. Let's go back to that second set for a moment. Where did things turn, in your opinion, for the Wolverines?
Tori Dorius with a big swing. Sorry, I got sidetracked by that. Her first action today, coming in, making an impact right away.
She'll serve for the Wolverines. But back to that second set. I mean, it was 10-10 at one point.
I think CBU just committed a lot of errors. And Utah Valley, the receiving has just been so good. You've got 76 to 59 attack category.
In total attacks.
And that's CBU over Utah Valley. So wow. Utah Valley was able to put that away with, 17 less?
Yeah. That's good quick math.
Thanks. Appreciate it. But, I think Utah Valley's just been more efficient. They've been locked in. Second chance opportunities, again, right there. And they're getting it from, seeing if the ball would come back. But I think it's just been so evenly spread. There's really no weak link in the chain on this Wolverine team at all right now.
Tied at 3. For me, I think things really turned there when the Wolverines went on that 4-0 run after it was 10-10. And they've had a couple big runs. They had a 5-0 run back in the first, 4-0 run in the second. And then also, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about how good the side out has been for the Wolverines, above 50% in both sets. They've beaten the Lancers in side out percentage. That may be the first receiving error of the
That's two. That's back-to-back service aces for, looks like that is
Okuhara,
back-to-back service aces. And yeah, there were no service errors before, and looks like Coach Toe is going to bring Dorius out of the game.
3-0 run for the Lancers. Wardle to Jurema. Okuhara is there. Abreu now. Over to Marks, and Sydney Marks makes it a 4-0 run. Lancers looking good out of the break.
Utah Valley's got to stay composed. I mean, errors happen. It's part of the game. But you also have to understand on the other end the momentum that CBU is carrying, and that is an unfortunate service error by CBU because they were rolling on that 4-0 run.
Sarah Merrill at the service line. Top 3 in service aces for the Wolverines this season. Error on the Lancers' attack.
It's like a double hit. So Utah Valley with a chance to tie things up after going down.
Okuhara, Sydney Marks down the middle. Bailey Christensen can't handle it. Wolverines just not as sharp defensively to start this third set, as we saw in sets 1 and 2.
After those the back-to-back service error or service aces and those receiving errors, it kind of took the wind out of the sails for Utah Valley for a moment.
Gilly on the serve. Wardle back to Childs. Gilly is there on the dig. Dennison over the block. Wardle comes diving in. Nice effort there, but the Lancers up 8-5.
I've been really impressed with Maddie Wardle. Even though she wasn't able to quite get that ball, it seems like every year she's gotten better. There was that, I think it was it 2 years ago when Sierra Starley was hurt and she had to fill in for Sierra at that setter position and just did an incredible job, and she just kind of phased into that setter position. She's done a great job at it. Her reaction time has been a lot better, and she's been talking to her teammates. I've even seen her get on her teammates for making mistakes and just trying to tighten things up a bit. So I think credit is due for Maddie.
Controversial call a moment ago. It looked like an easy kill for the Lancers, but they're going to say they were over the nets on the Wolverine side of things, and so they give the point to UVU. Maybe a turning point we need to keep an eye on. That would have given the Lancers a 3-point lead. Back-to-back points for the Wolverines. No, that goes to the Lancers.
Utah Valley got a hand on it, but it landed out of bounds, so that'll be another kill for Sydney Marks, who is leading the Lancers with 8.
Terafiti reception. And Terafiti misses the mark. Just not crisp right now for Utah Valley as they trail by 4.
It hasn't been the same since those service aces.
And Coach Atoa sensing the same thing. He'll take his first time out here in the third set. Let's see if the Wolverines can respond.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Wolverines down 6-10. What's been the difference here for the Lancers here in the third set?
I think they finally got a little taste of momentum, and they've just been building upon it. They've been more crisp. They've been talking to each other more. You can just see they're having fun. You can just see it on their faces. Look, I mean, just the celebrations are just so much more than what they were earlier on, and they're just riding that good vibe, if you will.
Up by 5 now, largest lead for the Lancers ever in this match. Abreu serves again. Downs now. Pushes it over, but the Lancers are there. They're going to try Downs again. Over the block. Great effort there from Okuhara. Jason now back to Downs. Over the block, but the Lancers, their defense has really cranked it up. The block lands out of bounds, and CBU up 12-6.
Largest lead we have seen from CBU, and they just keep building upon it. 4-0 run.
Abreu to serve again. The deep serve from Abreu. Kasna, much needed side out.
Just what the doctor ordered.
7-12. Kasna will serve. Dennison, Okuhara, Merrill, Terafiti and Christensen just hits it over. Kind of an awkward position, but gets it over. Merrill back to Christensen. Through the block, back-to-back points for the Wolverines.
Huge plays for Utah Valley. Started off with Kasna, and she is still serving for Utah Valley. Another point here makes you a little bit more comfortable.
Huge shot from Sydney Marks. Her 10th kill for the Lancers.
First player to hit double digits. Looks like they've given her the rock 26 times, so she has been the focal point.
Serving now, Natalie Zimmerer, senior from Fresno. Terafiti over to Christensen. Big swing. Lancers can't keep it in play. At this point, Wolverines need to keep siding out quick. As you saw right there, Jarema in for Saren Merrill.
If you're Utah Valley, it's okay to side out quickly and just, trade points for a little bit, but at some point soon, Utah Valley's got to put together a 3 to 4 point run.
Dennison, Zimmerer, great play there from Terafiti. Christensen, Lancers now will try. Dennison, big swing from Cassidy Dennison out of Huntington Beach, California. Megan Sester in for the Lancers as they lead by 5. Terafiti. Jarema. Was it touched? They going to say yes. The Lancers can't believe it. They're going to say it's touched. Point to the Wolverines. A couple controversial calls.
Yeah, it's hard
so
to say
fast.
It because we're not up there
right
with the official. She says it was touched, so you got to believe it. But from this angle, it looked like it was way too high to have been touched. So, I don't know.
Christensen through the block. Back-to-back points.
She ties Kasna to lead the Wolverines with 7 kills.
Zimmerer. Terafiti. Wardle tracks it down. Kasna mishits. It goes out of play. Point to CBU. Yenjichuk on the serve. Merrill to Wardle. And now it's Jarema down the middle.
There's a harder swing I was looking for.
Yes, Jarema. 4 kills now to go along with 4 blocks. And the Wolverines are hanging, but still waiting for that 3-0 spurt to get back in it. They're not out of it.
No.
But the Lancers still in control here. Midway through the 3rd set. Great serve. Christensen was there. Terafiti now over the top. Dennison for the Lancers. Wardle pops it up. Terafiti now, hard swing, but great play there by Dennison to keep it alive. Longest rally here, the 3rd set. And the hit by Sester a little long, and the Wolverines creep within 2.
Could this be the run that we were talking about just a moment ago?
Christensen still serving. She had the service ace to close out the 2nd set. Little long
you had to say
there.
It. You had to say it.
Little long for Christensen. It's a service error. Hana Okuhara will serve now for the Lancers.
Okuhara was the one who had those back-to-back service aces earlier on.
Wardle to Terafiti. Dennison on the dig. Jarema! Michaela Jarema is heating up here in the 3rd set.
Coach Atoa looking thrilled with the efforts from Jarema. And looks like Merrill will go back to serve.
Marks to Okuhara. Back to Marks. Through the block. Bounces around a couple Wolverines' knees and falls down for the Lancer point. Got to credit California Baptist at this point, siding out, limiting the Wolverines' opportunities.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Hitting .320 for the set are the Lancers.
Utah Valley has been able to kind of trade points, but it's getting to the point in the set where it's just not feasible to continue trading points. They have to go on that run now.
Nicole Abreu with a couple of monster digs for the Lancers. Impressive stuff from the former outside hitter. And the Lancers back up, leading by 4. It's a critical moment here for the Wolverines. Can't let this lead get any bigger than it is. Childs. Too far for Megan Childs, and now it's a 5-point lead. And the Wolverines are going to take a timeout. Sensing the third set slipping away, the Wolverines will regroup, and we'll see what they can do after the break.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
Lancers lead by 5, 19-14. And who's impressed you from the Lancers here in the third set?
Sydney Marks has done a really good job attacking. I think her as well as Nicole Abreu has just she's done a really good job receiving the ball. And then Hannah Okuhara, I think, has done a good job receiving and then passing the ball too.
Tara Feedy, a huge swing and a huge point for the Wolverines, cutting the lead to 4. They're still hanging around.
I like this lineup from Utah Valley. I like seeing Jasmine, Kazna, and Kaylee in the front. All really, really good blockers.
Ellie Voss, the 6'2 middle blocker, with the quick side out from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And the Lancers can sense the finish line here. Only 5 points away. Jasa to Bailey. Just misses. Good idea there from Sydney Marks, but the point goes to the Wolverines. If there's ever a time to get back in it, this would be that time, trailing by 4. Nearly a service ace. Christensen is there. Jasa back to Downs. Over the block, but Nicole Abreu, great awareness to get in there. Oh, great effort by Okuhara to keep it alive. Point goes to the Lancers. Five-point lead now. The Lancers have done a good job of maintaining that 4 to 5 point lead throughout the majority of this third set.
They have. We've been talking so much about Utah Valley, needing to get back into it, but on the opposing side, CBU just really kind of maintaining that position as they move towards the finish line.
27-17 with Jasmine Nutupuivaha to serve. On the slide, Yenjichuk, was it touched? No. They're going to give the point to the Wolverines. Starting to get a little interesting in here.
It is getting very interesting.
A point here brings the Wolverines within 2. Down the middle. It's deflected, and it's a point to the Lancers. Big point for CBU.
Huge. Again and again, every time the Wolverines start knocking on the door of runs, CBU just doesn't answer. They don't open it.
Critical point here. Jasa to Bailey. Jasa was there to clean up the deflection. Good dig from Dennison.
Tough shot.
Great effort from Merrill. But can the Lancers creep closer? Yes, they can, behind Christine Graff. Lead back to 5. They've just done an outstanding job here in the third. Jasa to Bailey. Lancers will try now. Huge swing there from Megan Sester. Set point now for CBU.
I've been impressed. I've been really impressed.
Hitting .297 as a team. They've been in control throughout the third. Good volleyball there from CBU as they finish off the Wolverines in the third set. We'll be heading to a fourth set after the break here in Orem, Utah.
Here at Intermountain Healthcare, our doctors have experience treating young athletes, professional athletes, and the athlete next door. We treat everyday injuries, sports injuries, concussions, total joint replacements, and everything in between. Come visit our board-certified physicians and surgeons here at Intermountain Healthcare's Utah Valley Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. We're committed to keeping you moving.
Welcome back into the Lockhart Arena. The Wolverines up 2-1, had a chance to sweep it away, but credit CBU for taking the third set, forcing set number 4. And for Utah Valley, they're kind of trending in the wrong direction. If you look at the side-out percentage, it started in the first set 66%, which is great. They dropped down to 57 in the second, still won the second set, and now 45 in the third set. So let's hope that they can bump up in the right direction and not continue with that trend, because the Wolverines are going to be in trouble if they do so.
There's too many receiving and attack errors there from the Wolverines in that third set.
They just seemed out of sync.
Yeah, they never really, you didn't feel the swag, you didn't feel the confidence that you felt in those first 2 sets. And they made it interesting late, but you got to credit the Lancers for finishing that one off. Jarema gets things started for the Wolverines.
I'm so glad that she's been more aggressive down the middle. They need her to be.
.1-0 start here in the fourth. Wardle can't get underneath it, and it doesn't seem like the Wolverines have had an answer for that play. The Lancers have adjusted. I mean, the Wolverine block was so dominant in that first set.
It's coaching.
And since then, they've went over, and no one's sliding in.
It's coaching. It is coaching. Credit.
Jasmine with the side out. Kaylee Downs and Jasa Funk Stratton will come in for the Wolverines. Marks denied. Now it's Terafiti. The block by Christine Graff.
The solo block. That's tough. Kasna had a really good angle on that, too.
You don't see that very often from Kasna. Nine blocks for California Baptist. That's 2 more than the Wolverines. Abreu over to Sester. Now it's Terafiti. Just pops it over with her left hand. Good play there by Kasna.
CBU kind of carrying over that momentum. The Wolverines hanging around, obviously, just down 1, but CBU doesn't look like they've missed a beat moving into set number 4.
Jasa over to Kasna. The Wolverine block, it just hasn't been the same since that first set. Lancers getting through the block, and they lead by 2. 3-0 run now for the Lancers. Kasna delivers her 9th kill. Big swing there from Kasna.
Huge side out. The Wolverines needed to stop the bleeding before it got out of hand.
Good serve there from Terafiti. Kasna up and over to Christensen, and she can't get it over the net. 5-3 now, CBU. Lancers are currently 1-3 in WAC play, 7-10 on the year, 7th place into the conference standings. But CBU looking dangerous right now as they lead 6-3. Wolverines still out of sync. We'll take our first break here in the 4th set. CBU up 3 here in the fourth. What do the Wolverines got to do, Kyle, to kind of get back to what we saw in the first set?
I think they need back-to-back big plays. They need a momentum shift. A couple of blocks, a couple of big kills, something in order to rally the troops. So there is, it sailed a little bit too far. So, yeah, Utah Valley, you don't want to go down big like this so early.
This is what we saw in the third. Lancers are just making it difficult for the Wolverine defense right now. Another attack error by the Wolverines. It's a 5-point lead right out of the gate.
Just the execution is just not very good. It's very different from what we saw in the first set. Even the second set, it did kind of, it's been trending in the wrong direction, still doing that.
Great effort by the Lancers. Really impressive stuff. Off the shoulder of Nicola Abreu, but it's still alive. It results in a Lancer point. Everything going CBU's way right now.
Coach Atoa bringing in Maddie Wardle.
Nine to 3. It's been the tale of two halves. First two, I don't know if halves works here in volleyball, but you get the picture. What happened before the break and after the break have been two separate things. Maybe there's the lucky break that goes the Wolverines' way. That was so close to staying in.
Jasmine will go back to serve. And an interesting, the interesting sub from Coach Atoa, you have Maddie Wardle playing on the front row. You could see her mouth the words like, the front row? As she went over there, but looks like they're trying to work her back into that.
If anything, I wonder if this
spot.
is a strategic move to kind of shut down that little bump over the block that the Wolverines have not been able to adjust.
Yeah.
Easy point there for the Lancers. 11 to 4. If it sounds speechless on the broadcast, it's because I don't have words.
Yeah,
what we're seeing right now is so night and day from what we saw in the first two sets. It's hard to believe.
Exactly. It is hard to put into words. It's just been stagnant. It has been totally stagnant for a while. And the current set, California Baptist, they're on a 6-1 run, and they're hitting 545 as a team. Utah Valley just doesn't have an answer.
Yeah,
there's just no answer to it right now. So, I like the fact that Coach Atoa called another timeout.
But he's out of timeouts, too.
He's out, but at the same time, can you blame him? with the score, it's starting to get out of control. So it's like, got to do what I can to try and fix things right now and then trust my team the rest of the way rather than let it get to a 10-point lead and then call timeout because it might be too little too late at that point.
Let's take a look at some stats here. One that really jumps off the page, Kyle. California Baptist siding out at 100%. We're a third of the way through the fourth set, and they're still siding out at 100%. And you brought up this point. The Wolverine side-out percentage is just getting, it went from good to okay to bad to worse. From first set through fourth set, they're at 36% right now. You're just not going to win a lot of sets with a side-out percentage in the 30s. Bailey Christensen gets things going after the second timeout. And now this is the point where you don't need a 5-0 run.
Yeah.
But you do need some 2-1, some 3-1 situations. So by the time you get to the 20s, you're within 3 or 4. Dorius. Now Christensen. Misfires. Point to CBU.
It was a good possession, though.
What do you mean?
Maddie Wardle was able to set the ball up nicely. It just didn't go where it needed to go. It seemed like they're getting Wardle back into where she needs to be, setting the ball up where it needs to go, and that one just didn't fall.
Wardle back to Christensen.
You don't see that very often, where it's blocked and it sails all the way to the back end out of play, so the Wolverines very fortunate.
Christensen leads the Wolverines now in kills with 10, make it 11. Double-double for Christensen, 10 digs, 11 kills. Wardle back to Dorius. Point to the Lancers.
Looks like it fell just inside.
CBU substitution in is number 7, Megan Sester. Sester today, 4 kills, 1 dig. What an effort by Terafiti to keep that in play. Let's see if the effort pays off for the Wolverines. Merrill to Terafiti. Wow. Abreu has been an absolute stud on that back row. Her digs, 13 of them now, but the effort of Terafiti did pay off. Little energy there. Maybe that's the spark for the Wolverines.
And they need her to do that. The offensive force that she is, she's got to put all that effort into it, swing hard, and hope for the best, because Utah Valley is still not in a good spot as CBU continues to side out so incredibly well. Every time Utah Valley scores, CBU's like, nah, we'll take it back.
Merrill. Now it's Terafiti. Another beautiful swing and finish from Terafiti. 10 kills now for Kasna. No, make it 11. 2 Wolverines in double figures. And Terafiti's 1 dig away from a double-double. Merrill. Great play there. Just misses. That was so close, but the point to the Wolverines.
Extremely close. This could be the run that Utah Valley needs right now. It looks like that was... Is that a 3-0 run? Was that 3 straight?
I think we're in 2 straight right now for the Wolverines. There's a 7-point lead a moment ago.
Oh, that one was so close.
This time it goes in favor of CBU right near the line. Okuhara at the service line. Slide to Jasmine, and it gets through.
That's the Jasmine that we've been missing today.
We're seeing the Wolverine offense come to life a little bit here. The question now, can they get some stops defensively? Opportunity now for UVU. Lancers keep it alive. Jasa, the overpass, and the point to the Lancers. Untimely error by UVU. (16-10). Elizabeth Gilly serving. Maddie Wardle to Christensen. Gilly is there. Setter's dump. Jasmine was there, but not enough juice on it. It's a 7-point lead.
It's crazy. It is crazy. The reaction time was good by Jasmine, but I mean, she got a hand on it, but didn't really put it anywhere where someone could receive it.
Vaganya seeing her first action of the match for the Wolverines. Number 15, Kaylee Vaganya, freshman from West Valley City. Service ace for CBU, and this has the makings of a 5-set. It just does not feel like there's any energy right now for the Wolverines, and it's getting out of control. No timeouts for the Wolverines. They are trailing by 8, the largest lead of the 4th set for CBU.
Another service ace pedal to the metal, and the Wolverines cannot find the break.
Now you have to wonder, what can you do to get out of the funk? Because this is 2 sets in a row now where the Lancers are putting it to the Wolverines.
At this point,
can you get out of it?
We're about to find out. At this point, you want to see Utah Valley battle. Odds of them winning this particular set are slim, but if you can see them at least put together a 3-0 run or something to close it out, get some kind of rhythm before set 5 starts. But
it's a double-digit lead now for the Lancers. They have been in control from the second this 4th set began. I think the Wolverines took the first point, and ever since then, it's been all CBU.
Yep.
15 kills for Sydney Marks. As a team, they're hitting .333, and the wheels are off the wagon right now for the Wolverines. They're down 11, several service aces given up here in the 4th set. Credit CBU.
Absolutely. And Coach Otoa just came over and was saying, hey, talk to each other.
22-10 now. A 12-point lead is a large lead for either the Lancers or the Wolverines. I don't think you want to expend too much energy trying to get back into this set. You just got to figure something out for the 5th set, right?
Right. I think so.
It's hard to put in words what's happening in Orem, Utah right now. The Wolverines, this is how the first set was for UVU. We've seen both teams dominate sets.
That one sailed too far. It is set point. A 14-point lead for CBU, and looks like we will see a 5th set.
Nearly an overpass. The slide to Jasmine keeps things alive for the Wolverines. Nice to see Jasmine with the kill, her 4th kill. Okuhara over to Dennison. And good effort, but no. What's the whistle?
I think it went behind the antenna. Oh, okay. No, the official made a mistake. They're going to give the ball back to Utah Valley. I think she thought the ball had crossed over, but it didn't.
Redo point.
Which is even more impressive by Maddie Wardle to get the ball and keep it in play.
Abreu to Okuhara down the middle. Voss. Jason was there. Back-to-back points for the Wolverines. This might be a good sign. A little momentum and energy. Still a long way to go here in the 4th, but you wanted to see this from the Wolverines heading into the 5th. Some positivity.
Overpass. Okay. Okay, you can feel a little bit of energy back in the room. You want to have that energy carry over into the 5th set.
3-0 run for the Wolverines. And that will do it. Dennison with the kill to finish off the Wolverines in the 4th, but that 3-0 run.
That was a bright spot.
Was that enough to turn the tide? We'll find out after the break. We're back for the 5th set here in Orem, Utah. Didn't feel like we would be at this point after the first 2 sets, but that's why it's best of 5.
It's true. Things can change on a dime in this game. It is a game of emotion. You've got the physical talent on both sides, both teams showing that they can flat out dominate a set, but it's who's going to win the mental game.
And right now,
Utah Valley's losing the mental game.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, from a mental perspective, do they have the resilience to let go of those 2 sets that clearly did not go the way they wanted them to go?
I think they do. I've seen it before, but they have to choose to lock into that. I hope they choose correctly. They're more than capable of just absolutely taking this set. Megan Childs back into the game. I don't think we saw Megan at all in set number 4.
It's amazing to look at the side-out percentage, ladies and gentlemen. California Baptist in the first set, 40%. Second set, 45%. Third, 63%. Fourth, 76%. Trending upwards.
And Utah Valley just the opposite.
66% in the first, 57% in the second, 45 and 40 in 3 and 4. That's something we'll keep an eye on here in the 5th set.
Time to protect the den, Utah Valley.
Good serve to start things off, Maddie Wardle. Opportunity now for the Wolverines to strike first. Abreu is there.
Ball is still live.
Ooh, close and dangerous play from Christensen and Wardle. It results in the Lancers scoring first.
The effort was there, but the communication not so much. So if they can just tighten up those 2 things and do them well, then they'll be fine.
Abreu will serve. She was on the service line in the 4th during a big run. Childs. Too far.
She had a great look at it.
2-0 CBU. We're seeing some of the same from the 4th. It's a shorter set. Every point has a little more value here in the 5th. Nice reception there from Terafiti. Now it's Christensen. Can't get over the net. 3-0 start by CBU. Still serving is Abreu. Christensen off the hands of CBU, Sydney Marks, and it's a side out for the Wolverines.
First kill in a while for Utah Valley. Can they build upon it?
Good serve from Christensen, trickles over the net. The side out has been outstanding by CBU here in sets 3, 4, and 5, and another quick one by the Lancers.
Another kill by Sydney Marks, who leads all players with 17, hitting .324. She is having quite the game.
She's closing in on 200 kills for the season, Kyle. Leads the Lancers in kills. Terafiti. Absolutely what the Wolverines needed there. Now can they hold serve for a few points?
You could feel the energy a bit higher in that little huddle right after that point.
Almost an overpass. Dennison. Oh, good effort by Jasmine. Terafiti hits it over. Deflected. Wardle is there. Nice opportunity to cut the lead. Terafiti. No.
She went for the high hands and didn't quite pay off, so 3 points.
Good idea there from Kasna. But the point does go to CBU. They lead 5-2. Jarema gets it over the net. The block! Childs and Jarema.
I like that duo.
That's their first block in a long, long time.
Long time. I don't think they had a single block in the fourth set.
Good serve from Jasa. They'll try Christine Graff. Second attempt now for the Lancers. Christensen to Jasa. Terafiti. Terafiti cuts the lead to 1. Lots more energy and juice in the building right now for the Wolverines.
Jasa Funk Stratton has been at that service line for a few of the big Wolverine runs. Let's see if they can do the same here.
Jasa will serve again. She has 10 assists and 12 digs. We're tied at 5.
Tell you what, if you want to feel manic highs and lows of emotion, come to one of these games.
What resiliency by the Wolverines. It looked like things were going to slip away early, but they have fought back to tie it at 5. And take the lead at 6. Jurema.
Oh, dear.
You got to love the 5th set, man. You got to love the 5th set in volleyball.
I always hate getting to the 5th set, but the 5th set is always fun. Oh, a service ace for Jasa. Utah Valley on a 5-0 run.
Jasa Funk Stratton, JFS, and the Wolverines on a 5-0 scoring run. They have flipped the script here in the 5th. We'll stay here with it. Looked like the Wolverines were done for. After the CBU went up 5-2, there was just no juice, no energy. It felt like this 3rd and 4th sets all over again, but Kasna, Terafiti, and the Wolverines have responded.
I'm so glad the juice you talk about has found its way back into the Wolverine veins because it was non-existent in that last set. We're starting to see a little bit more of the Wolverines that we saw in the first set right now. So can they continue it out of the timeout, though? And after the next point, they're going to switch sides, too. So we're looking for another break. So this is where we get to the point of, you know, kind of the half-point break and then a whole bunch of timeouts.
Jasa has been a difference maker on the service line for the Wolverines. She was there in the first set on that big 5-0 run, and she's there again on a 5-0 run by the Wolverines. It's been a nice group. Jurema, Terafiti, Downs. Can the Lancers respond now? Yes, they can.
Oh, no, it went out.
Oh!
Whoa, that's huge.
Wow. That was a close one. I thought it was in.
I thought so, too. The official said otherwise. I think everyone's stunned in here.
8-5 as the teams switch sides. We'll take a break here in the 5th set. Be back for the remainder in just a moment.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home.
That was a quick break, and we're back.
Real quick.
CBU.
Oh, this one will go to CBU. I think Utah Valley thought it was theirs.
They're going to say it was touched by the Wolverines. Desperate side out for the Lancers. Serving now, number 10, Jędrzejczyk. Jasa to Downs. Double hit by Jasa. Good effort there, but a double. Lead cut to 1. Christensen, and now Terafiti over the block. Zimmerer was there. Great idea by the Wolverines, but it lands out of bounds, and we're tied at 8. A 3-0 run now by CBU. Drama is high.
So's your voice. Drama, I'll put it there.
Intensity, the service ace. A 4-0 run now. And a timeout by the Wolverines. A 5-0 run by Utah Valley. A response by CBU, a 4-0 run of their own. We've seen it all so far in this fourth set. Now it's up to the Wolverines to respond.
It's been big runs here in the fifth set, but there's not a lot of room for big runs in the fifth set. We're only going to 15, a 4-0 run for California Baptist. So, oh dear, buckle up for a tight finish.
Thanks for tuning in here on the Western Athletic Conference Digital Network, YouTube, and the KSL TV app. He's Kyle Bruder. I'm Matthew Biamonte. Things are just getting started here in the fifth set. I mean, we're just touching the surface of what can happen. That's why I love fifth set. So much can and will happen as CBU in the midst of a 4-0 run. Led behind Sydney Marks, 17 kills for Sydney Marks, hitting .324.
4 blocks for her, too.
What a performance for Sydney Marks. She's been outstanding here on the road. In only the third meeting between these two teams.
And neither team has won at home.
You're right. The season series was 1-1 a year ago. Jurema misses, and it's a 5-0 run now by CBU. And now you're starting to get the feeling side out doesn't come soon. Will the Wolverines run out of time?
Time is short.
Merrill over to Downs. And she can't get it over the net. 6-0 run. Got to wonder when that second timeout's coming for the Wolverines.
Coach Ochoa thought about it. He was heading towards the official, but then just spoke to the team for a moment.
He ends it shot. Jurema.
Oh, no, the free ball. There's the timeout.
7-0 run. And that might be the difference. We'll stay here with it. What we've seen in this fifth set is really indicative of what we've seen in this match.
Yeah.
I mean, CBU at the hot start. Wolverines look like they've taken control as they switch sides. They haven't scored a point since they've switched sides.
Yep.
It was 8-5 when they switched, and now it's 12-8. It's going to take a Herculean effort by the Wolverines to come out of this hole. It can be done, but it's tough to overcome a 7-0 run, especially at this juncture in the set.
It's really tough. But, I mean, you're home. If you're Utah Valley, you got to remember you're at home. You're supposed to take care of business here at home. They got off to a great start. Things have not gone their way since, but there's still time. It's a 4-point deficit. CBU is 3 points away from taking it. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see where the I guess the level of I don't want to say maturity. It really just comes down to being resilient and fighting back.
Wolverines 1-3 in their last 4 at home, and they're close to seeing this one slip away. And this would be a tough one. They played so well in the first 2 sets. To have 2 5-set defeats at home, it's not ideal, but it's not over yet.
Nope.
Side out here is critical. Jasa up to Kasna, over the block, into the back corner, it lands! Nice. Critical for Kasna.
Great play, great awareness, and the ball placement above everything else.
3-point lead now for CBU. Terafiti serving. Abreu. Back-to-back points as Sester misfires. Oh, how big was that Terafiti kill inside out. And now looking to go on a 3-0 run.
Oh, nearly an ace.
Beautiful serve. Sester over the top. Wolverines are there. This is prime opportunity. It's Downs. Great play there by Dennison. Dennison misses, and it is a 1-point lead. An absolutely critical and necessary 3-0 run, and the Wolverines are back in it. Surprised not to see a timeout there by CBU, but they're going to let this one ride. And now can Terafiti, Merrill, and the Wolverines equalize at 12.
There's an overpass.
Yes, they
Jarema.
can. We're tied at 12. The drama of the 5th set in the Lockhart Arena. We're not going anywhere here on the WAC Digital Network. Looked like the Wolverines were finished after a 7-0 run, but a 4-0 run of their own ties the match. 2 sets apiece, 12 points apiece here in the 5th set.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. They've gone back and forth. The Wolverines got this one. The Lancers got this one. No, now we don't know. Oh, man, 3 points away.
Tara Feedy is on the service line for the Wolverines. She leads the team in kills with 14, 11 digs, a double-double for Kasna. A double-double for Christensen, 12 and 12. A double-double for Maddie Wardle, 29 assists and 10 digs. A double-double for Jasa Funk Stratton, 11 assists and 11 digs.
4 double-doubles? Is that what you just told me?
4 double-doubles for the Lancers.
Moly.
Sydney Marks, 17 kills to lead the way for all players. Double-double for Anna Okuhara, 24 assists and 12 digs. Lancers with 11 blocks, Wolverines with 9, and Kasna is ready to kick things off. 3 points stand between both teams and a victory here in Orem, Utah. There's the serve. Great effort there by Jasa, but the Wolverines can't clean it up. And the Lancers creep within 2, 13 to 12. Okuhara at the service line. 2 service aces this afternoon for Okuhara. Jasa over to Bailey. We've got an attack error. And now it is match point for the Lancers. Do the Wolverines have one more run in them? Okuhara serve. Reception down the middle to Jarema.
And no, it didn't stay in. Or did it? Okay, I guess it did.
They're going to say it was off the arm of the Lancers. And now the Wolverines needing this point to continue the match. Good serve down the middle. That is it. Who else? Sydney Marks, her 18th kill. And the Lancers overcome a 2-0 deficit to get their second consecutive victory in Orem, Utah. 3 times these teams have met, Kyle, and neither team has won at home.
Yeah. And, again, you have to give so much credit to California Baptist. It is so hard to go down 2 and then win 3 straight in the way that they did.
On the road.
Even taking the punches that Utah Valley threw. Utah Valley was able to go on 3-4 and 5-0 runs at times, but they stayed composed and were able to win all 3 of those last sets. So I'm extremely impressed with the way the Lancers played today.
2 difficult losses for the Wolverines in back-to-back home games. They were up 2-1 on Kansas City on Thursday, losing 5. They were up 2-0 this afternoon, and they lose 3-2. And now they've got to regroup quickly on Monday as they play Chicago State, and then next Saturday, a week from today, they host Seattle, and then it's on the road against New Mexico State and UTRGV. So this is WAC volleyball. Anything can happen at any time.
Yep.
And they've got 2 critical home games coming up. They've got to get those 2 if they want to stay in the thick of things in the WAC play.
They have to. And they, even in an unfavorable position in the WAC tournament, they've still been able to have some success. But it means so much more to have a higher seeding to be able to, just play against a team that maybe you've already beaten early on. But we're still a ways away from that. So first things first, Monday against Chicago State. Utah Valley's got to come up big. That game's going to be on UVU TV. So be sure to tune in for that matchup on Columbus Day.
Let's wrap things up with some stats. Let's go with the Wolverines first. Tara Feedy, 14 kills, 11 digs. Christensen, 12 kills, 12 digs. Jarema, 10 kills, came on strong, 6 blocks. Childs, 4 kills. Jasmine Nutubuivaha, 4 kills. Other couple notables, Maddie Wardle, 29 assists. Jasa Funk Stratton, a double-double with 12 and 11. And now for the Lancers.
Well, for the Lancers, Sydney Marks was just humongous for him. Hitting 342 through 5 sets is not easy to do. She had those 18 kills, 4 blocks. Ellie Foss, 9 kills, 7 blocks for Ellie. An absolute monster game in the block department. Christine Graff, 7 kills. Cassidy Dennison, 7 and 15 digs. Megan Sester, 5 kills, 1 dig. You've got Yagoda. Tell me how to pronounce that one again. Yenjachuk. 5 kills of her own. Hana Okuhara with 25 assists and 12 digs. Another one of those double-doubles you mentioned earlier. You've got Natalie Zimmerer with 15 assists, 2 digs. Nicole Abreu was also really, really big.
Oh, yeah.
Ended up finishing with 16 digs, 6 assists. And then last but not least is Elizabeth Gilly, who finished with 10 digs and 3 assists. But, Utah Valley, the story of the match today for me was just the side-out percentage, and it just shows that Utah Valley was just not able to hold on to possession. They weren't able to continue to serve and get into any kind of rhythm. It went 66% first set, 57, 45, 40, and then 27% in the fifth set. It just gradually, you hate to see that as a coach and as a fan. So, hopefully the Wolverines can get into the film room and really observe what went wrong and how they can make some adjustments, because this Wolverine squad is really, really good. Just they couldn't execute today.
He's Kyle Bruder. I'm Matthew Biamonte. Thank you for tuning in on the WAC Digital Network, YouTube, and the KSL TV app. That's all for us, and we'll see you soon. So take care, and so long from Orem, Utah.